Hello, good evening. Welcome to Big Talk on Clevernet TV. Please do sign up on www.clevernet.com. Today on Big Talk, we'll be addressing education and women empowerment. I am Lola Oladokun, and co-hosting with me today is Promise Ebuzeme. Hi, Promise.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Today on the show, we have Mpatane and Sehera Bisnath, who will be joining us to address the topic on education and women empowerment. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you so much for having us.
It's a pleasure. Please, can you tell us more about who you are?
Okay. Uh, my name is Mpho, as Lola has already said. My surname is Mpatane. I'm from Johannesburg in South Africa, live from there right now. And I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have a few businesses under my belt. And what I found recently is that I'm also actually really a philanthropist. And that is why right now we're having this opportunity to talk more on that side. I'm also a business advisor, a certified business advisor internationally, and I'm a business mentor. So, in short, that's me.
Amazing. What about you, Sarah?
My name is Sehera, and I'm also from Johannesburg. So we are here today as a part of the executive committee for the Legacy Gala. The founder is Simran, who is my sister, Simran Sahib, and this is her child that we are here to speak about today and just give you a bit of a brief introduction. A little bit about myself is I am a student currently studying animal science, and I'm a little bit everywhere. So whether it's being an entrepreneur, speaking, advocating for different causes, people, animals, uh, I just can't help myself.
That's beautiful. Welcome to the show once again. So, we're talking about education and women empowerment. What does that mean to you?
Well, to be honest with you, education and women, first let's start there. It starts actually at a very younger age, where you find that in Africa, not only in South Africa, because we are in South Africa, in Africa as a whole, education and women is it's still such a challenge. There is such a roadblock for mostly for women to get education, start school. First of all, starting school is a problem. Completing the school is another challenge that we are facing. So now, when we're looking at education and women, it's still a very delicate topic, which shouldn't be, because more and more people are getting exposed to education. But I'll give you an example when we're talking about education and women and the struggles that we come across as women. You will find that a woman will get, or a young girl child will get pregnant in school, and they will be expected to leave school because you'll find that people will say, we're going to fall asleep when you're in class. There's a whole lot of things that come up when girls are pregnant, but that it's not the same for the boy that impregnates the girl. They get to have the opportunity to continue with school, complete school without any disturbances, and you'll find that the girl will be left behind with a year. Sometimes they don't even go back to school because there is so much discrimination when it comes to being a girl falling pregnant and wanting to continue with school. So those are the kind of challenges that we find ourselves faced with. So education and women empowerment should go hand in hand, because when you empower girls from a young age to know who they are, to know the natural progression of where they're supposed to go as simply as human beings, this is when we will start winning the fight against girls not being sure if they want to go to school or finish school because of this and that.
What about you, Sahara? What does education and women empowerment mean to you?
So if we actually consider education and women empowerment, I think as Mpho has mentioned, it's a small part of a bigger picture. There are so many social issues that go hand in hand. It is not provincial, it's not national, it's a global crisis that we are currently facing. And I think our voices are the most powerful tool that we as human beings have. So empowering a woman, teaching her how to claim her power, that is the only way I believe that we can solve the education and women empowerment issue. The first
But
step of it.
considering that we live in a very patriarchal society, do you think that's ever possible for a woman to really claim her power and her rights?
Absolutely. I think, if we actually consider women and their rights and the patriarchy and all of those things, there needs to come a time when we say, you know what, this is our right and we are going to claim it. Once again, the power of their voices, using their voices, standing up for themselves. Number one, education. Number two, creating an awareness. Um, Number three, it starts with school, going to school, believing that they have a pathway, there are possibilities. Because for many of these girls, if they don't go to school, they don't complete school, a lot of them have very small dreams. Their mindset, their vision is this big. But once we teach these girls, give them adequate skills, empowerment support, form a support structure and a support system, we're able to widen their range. We're able to open their minds. I mean, the cure for so many diseases, illnesses, and all of those things could be in the mind of a child that is unable to go to school.
So would you say that feminism is a form of empowerment, especially when it comes to economic empowerment?
You could definitely say that, um, in a way, up to a certain degree. But one thing about empowerment, when we go into the empowerment, what are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about taking somebody that doesn't know themselves, first of all, because of the conditions or the environment that they have been brought up in. We're talking about somebody who doesn't believe in themselves. We're talking about somebody that doesn't believe that they can do better or move from the point of where they are to the next stage. So when we're talking about empowering a woman or empowering a young girl, we're talking about, going back, digging deeper like that to say, now we're going to show you who you are. Maybe you didn't realize the power that's within you, but because I can see it and it's reflected in you, we will be able to take you as, as women or as the community. We can be able to show you that you can shine, upskill you, get you access to information that you didn't have or wouldn't normally have. We're talking about basic empowerment that will now build up until it gets to the education side of things. Because if you really think about it, um, as women naturally or usually, women are raised to always be obedient, to always listen and not be able to voice out.
Mm-hmm.
So now, when we're talking about empowerment, we're coming at an angle of saying it's okay to speak up. It's okay to want to know more, and it's okay to ask questions. Remember, in traditionally or in the black cultures, we're not even allowed to ask questions. So we're starting with the small steps, and saying as a girl reaches adulthood, they come from teenagehood into adulthood. What is it that they have learned? The journey that they've been on. Don't be scared to speak up. Don't be scared to want to learn more. If you need more books, that we're talking about the basic empowerment, right? So now when we go, now we can add on to say, now we're coming into the education side of things. When you complete your matric, what are your dreams? What is your vision? Where do you see yourself in the next 2, 5 years? Because there's a saying that goes that an elephant is never eaten in one go. You chip at it, you eat it bit by bit until you get to finish the whole elephant, right? So
Yeah.
the empowerment that we're talking about is that kind of empowerment. And when you're talking about feminism, it is part of it because that's when you get to teach and also make them aware that the woman, the femininity, the womanhood is actually power in its own, on its own. So how to use it properly, how to use it to make sure that it puts you in front of the audience that you need to be in front of, and so forth. So yes, it is part of it, just to answer your question.
Oh, that's a very valid point. It's one thing to know your power, it's another thing to know how to use the power. That's very profound.
Um, just to ask a question. How do you come across difficult women? Saying you want to empower a teenager, it's very difficult because some of them will listen, some of them won't listen. So how do you do this? How do you? What's a strategy in getting them?
So what we've done is we've taken the concept of the Legacy Gala and we've sent our team to various schools. So our team goes into the schools, we speak to them, we show them our workshop. So what the Legacy Gala is combined of, it has comprised of, sorry, it's the gala itself taking place in September, and prior to that, it's workshops. So those workshops are what we use to upskill the girls. So we have people of all professions, whether it's your motivational speakers, whether it's um, your, your lecturers, professors, academics, people from different industries, your beauty industry, your pageant queens, Mrs. South Africa, all different types of people are now coming together because we're providing them with a platform to be able to, because everyone wants to make a difference at the end of the day. If I ask you, what would you like to do? I want to make a difference. But the question is, where do we start? So what the Legacy Gala is doing is we are giving people who want to make a difference a platform to reach out to those who need a difference made to their lives. So coming back to your question of identifying these girls, our current recipient, which is the Mbumba Foundation, which aims at alleviating period poverty and educating these girls, they've actually sent us a list of potential schools, candidates, and schools that they support. So from there, we've narrowed it down. We've approached these schools. We've asked for consent. Our teams have spoken to these girls, and whichever girls were interested, we took them on, and their parents have obviously signed, consent forms, and we transport them from their schools. We bring them to our workshop venue where we conduct these workshops.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you so
actually
much.
glad you mentioned period poverty because I feel that we cannot talk about women empowerment without talking about women empowerment or period poverty rather.
Yeah.
Because statistics have shown that about 7 million South African girls are unable to attend school while menstruating.
Yes.
Right. So we're going to delve deeper into period poverty, but I feel at this point we should go on a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hello there. Looking for an African movie? Search no further. Clevenard African Movies TV is here for you. We are dedicated to the acceleration of African films, TV series, documentaries, and lots more. Explore our movies at home or on the go. Clevenard Movies is free to watch on Clevenard.com. Don't miss this opportunity. Hurry now. Sign up and subscribe today. Hello there. Looking for an African movie? Search no further. Clevenard African Movies TV is here for you. We are dedicated to the acceleration of African films, TV series, documentaries, and lots more. Explore our movies at home or on the go. Clevenard Movies is free to watch on Clevenard.com. Don't miss this opportunity. Hurry now. Sign up and subscribe today.
Welcome back. Please remember to join our growing community by signing up on www.clevernet.com. We are still talking education and women empowerment on Big Talk. Before we went on a break, we were going to address the issue of period poverty. So, can you give us more insight into the issue of period poverty among young girls?
About that.
No
So,
problem.
if we look at period poverty, it comes down to, I know you mentioned 7 million girls. So, I mean, you consider there's quite a large percentage of young girls that don't have access to sanitary wear and they can't afford the necessary sanitary wear. But not only that, there is such a stigma surrounding having your period that a lot of these girls don't even know. They lack the education surrounding their periods. So, I mean, the stigma of talking about it, trying to ask for help. I know that in a lot of countries, some girls are still using leaves and mud because they don't know how to ask. They aren't educated or aware of the proper hygiene associated with it. A lot of them think of themselves as impure or dirty, and because they lack all these things and the access to sanitary wear, the education, the support system, it's a lot of negative exposure towards the social stigma.
Mm,
And these girls, I think the only way to, empower them, coming back to the empowerment side of things, is to start with educating them. Like, it's okay. It is 100% natural. It is 100% normal. You can still go to school because these girls, I mean, it's not even limited to the students. If you look at the female teachers, a lot of them don't understand how to deal with the symptoms, and they just don't go to school. So they are missing out on their education. Collectively, if you add that up, that's quite a bit of the academic year that these girls miss out on because they are too ashamed to go out in public. What if they have an accident? What if someone sees them? What if people know they're on their period? Um, do they have a pad? What can they do? So I think there's a lot of serious consequences, and a lot of these girls are forced to stay at home. It can lead to feelings of isolation. We are right in the times of COVID, anxiety, depression, added that to isolation all around. I think, it also increases your high school dropout rate, the gender gap increases, your social gap increases, the girls that have access, the girls that don't have access, the education of the male population versus the education of the female population. I think it's quite extensive.
Just to add to that, Lola, if you really think about it, we're talking about, it's a natural progression of humanity
true.
for women. It's a natural calling. There's nothing you can do about it.
True.
And you can just imagine, as Simran has just said, when you are feeling dirty and sometimes you don't even know who to ask or who to talk to about it. And you have a little accident and you've got boys teasing you, you've got other girls pointing fingers at you, because that's what younger generations do. We judge each other. We don't have the wisdom. We haven't
Yeah.
lived that long. And you think about a girl, a normal period takes about 4 days, 5 days. Others go up to 7 days.
That's true.
So can you imagine the gap that Sehera was talking about, the equality gap, where this girl is going to miss out on a whole week. Let's take it, they go on a period for 5 days. They're missing out on a whole week of school because they're having a natural occurrence happening to their bodies. And you think, when you really think about it and compound it, these girls are literally losing out on 2 months of school. It's when you think about those 4 to 5 days, it adds up to like 60 days in a
Wow.
year. That is a big number. And most people are not cognizant of that, to say you can make a difference by just making sure, like Sahara had mentioned, we start building them in the workshops that she previously mentioned. It's okay. So now, once you understand it's okay to go on a natural occurrence that needs to happen every month, how do we help you to make sure that you are ready and prepared for when that time comes? This is where the sanitary ware donations come in, And you also look at other people that the areas that they live in the rural areas, most of the time, they don't even have access to water. So you can just imagine if someone is using a cloth, if they're using a tree leaf, whatever it is that they're using, you can just imagine the hygiene consequences that come with that. So those are the kind of things that we really need people to think more about and to really take it to heart that even if you can, in the environment that you are in, if you can afford to buy 2 extra packets of sanitary ware and give it to the girl that lacks, you have won. You have started. You have joined the fight against poverty, period poverty.
Yeah, so it's a collective effort. Right.
Thank you so much. So I know you guys have this legacy gala, but I'm sure there's something that literally prompts this foundation to start in the first place. So I really want to know what is that thing that really prompts this foundation to start up in the first place. Apart from, we know that okay, there is poverty, period poverty, but there is more. I'm sure you guys have seen something out of the ordinary about just period poverty.
So, period poverty on a personal level, it has been a cause that is very close to my family's heart. We've been involved with all the efforts for quite some time now. And now, when my younger sister Simran turned 16, uh, she turned around and she looked, and her awareness of the world, our society, the social gaps have heightened. And one of the first things she, thought about was, I can go to school when I have my period. I have access to all of these things, the support structure, but my fellow young girls don't. And I mean, it makes you think about it. Like, I mean, for someone as young as her to be 16 and to take that accountability upon herself, I'm going to make a difference. I mean, she just wanted to make a difference, and to see how this entire thing has, grown. It has truly been amazing because not only is the Legacy Gala able to cater for period poverty and just donate sanitary ware. I think you've heard the saying: if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, but if you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. So apart from just giving them the sanitary pads, we're bringing these girls out. Once we talk to them, give them the knowledge, they go back to their communities and they empower their whole communities at large. So we're not just reaching every individual girl, we're we're reaching and addressing communities at large. So hopefully our gala and our initiative can, you know, expand all across Africa globally because like I said, it's not a South Africa problem. It's not an Africa problem. It's a global crisis.
Thank you so much.
Right. Okay, so what skills would you say a girl needs to empower herself?
Oh my word, there's a lot.
Yeah, give us some. I know there's a lot. Like, what are like maybe the top five?
Okay. First of all, as I said, self-awareness.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. And also having, as women in general, we have a signal in us that's called empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Being empathetic to the communities around us, and knowing that I can make a difference in someone else's life. That's another one.
Right.
Another way of that we can say is them wanting more for themselves and being able to voice it out and
Mm-hmm.
saying and not feeling, scared to speak or scared to voice out to say this is what I need help with. Because if you look at our generation, the current generation, and the young ones that are coming after us or behind us, we are scared to ask for help. As simple as that. We think, what is my neighbor gonna think? What is so and so going to think?
Right.
When you get people to understand that it's not about that, but it's about the humanity, you've empowered them. And I wanted to say that with what the Legacy Foundation is doing, you can see that there's going to be the longevity of it, or if I can say the sustainability of it, is what attracted me, because this young girl, I mean, Simran is 16 years old. And as Sehera has said, for her to be able to say, to be aware of the social injustices and want to be moved enough, to be empathetic enough to want to do something about it. And not only, most of people do know about period poverty. So what they do is they will just collect sanitary towels and then donate them. There is no follow up to say this, we had meant for 20 girls to get these sanitary towels. Did they get the sanitary towels? Did they get all of them? Because what happens is you find stories that girls will say, we did get the donation of the sanitary ware, but the teachers took them.
Oh.
Yes, because
Wow, that's
they get
amazing.
donated and they're put into the staff room or into the headmaster's office to be distributed later on. And the teachers take them. Remember, the teachers are working and they're earning a salary. And we are trying to fight this pandemic that we're facing. It's a big
Yeah.
challenge, honestly, if we think about it. And they, first of all, they will put in their bags for themselves before they distribute them. And if a girl was supposed to get 6 packets, let's say they would get 6 packets for 6 months or maybe 5 months,
Mm-hmm.
they end up getting two.
Oh
So,
wow.
That is
yeah, so
sad.
that's what I'm saying. We're not, we when we're talking about period poverty, we're looking at the top of it. We're not going deeper. And this is where the rampant discussions need to happen. So what I really like about what the Legacy Gala Foundation is doing is they're going deeper. Yes, they cannot do it all, but let's
Oh.
start with the basics to make sure that these girls are really empowered with the empowerment they receive and the support they receive, with the training they receive in the workshops. Because remember, in the workshops, I keep talking about self awareness. It starts with the self confidence. That's one of the other points.
Oh.
There is so much lack of confidence with the girls that come from difficult backgrounds or challenging backgrounds. There's a saying that your history doesn't have to determine your future, but
Absolutely.
you need to know where you come from in
Mm.
order to appreciate where you need to get to. So, with the legacy foundation is the one that will help them to appreciate where they have been and where they need to be. So it's bigger. It's bigger than the 16-year-old Simran. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than you and the next person. As Sehera puts it, so 100% correctly, it's a global concern.
Yeah. Indeed, there's a need for accountability and follow up.
Yes, yes.
You
100.
It's really beautiful to hear everything you guys are doing regarding period poverty. But apart from donating this sanitary pads and educating this women about their period and so on, what other ways have you guys figured out on how to empower these women?
So, if you consider the Legacy Gala itself, yes, we are giving them plans. We are hosting workshops to upskill them, give them their development that they can take back and take forward. But to add on to that, we're trying to take it a step further where we're interacting with these girls on a one on one basis, what and asking them, how can we help? What
Yeah,
issues are you facing? Because these
yeah,
girls come from different areas, so their needs, their issues, it will be different. So we're asking them, how do you feel we can best handle the situation? What do you feel needs to be changed? How would you change your community? As a girl, how do you see yourself in 5 years' time? How do you see your community changing? And all of those things. And what I'd actually like to say is There are so many organizations, there are so many charities that are out there, sanitary drives, donating food, um, going in, teaching them, giving them small courses, small acts of empowerment. It does add up. But I've also noticed that organizations are very much to themselves. So we're doing this, we're going to do it to the girls. This is our organization. We'll take the credit for it. So I think the issue of helping has become more of a charity. So instead of all the organizations working together, how can we help each other? How can I help you? How can you help me? How can we together make a difference? Um, I think there needs to be more of that, more unity on the empowerment front. So the people that are doing food drives can help the people that are doing sanitary drives and so forth. There's a saying, we rise by lifting others. And I truly believe in that because I've seen it myself with this gala. We have big companies and global companies, they're coming in, they're saying, okay, you guys are teaching the girls this. We also want to get involved. We'll give the girls a few job opportunities. And we have other companies coming in and saying, okay, why do we have to take the girls out of their townships? Why do we have to take them out of their homes and put them in a place that they're uncomfortable with and, give them the workshops? Why can't we take the workshops to them? Why can't we help their infrastructure? Why can't we put a container with schooling equipment, sanitary equipment, depending on their needs? So it's really nice to see the scale at which this is progressing and how everyone's involvement is growing.
Oh, that's good synergy. It's a good synergy. We're still talking education and empowerment. We're gonna go on another break, but when we come back, we're going to look at some businesses that women can start with few funds. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Clevenard in Diaspora Television is an internet online TV service. What sets us apart is a unique combination of hit African content, first and exclusive international free movies, series, musics, news, events, documentaries, tourism, teleshopping shows, youth TV programs, and live interviews. Clevenard Diaspora Television is available throughout sub-Saharan Africa and to the diaspora markets worldwide. Take your entertainment with you wherever you go. Watch on your smartphone, tablet, laptop, smart TV, depending on your device. Watch free movies with Clevenard Movies Television. Stop searching for free movies websites and watch Clevenard Movies Television. Watch your favorite African shows anywhere at any time. Don't forget to check out our top 5 TV channels created to get you informed. TV1, Clevenard in Diaspora Television. TV2, Clevenard Youth Television. TV3, Clevenard Movies Television. TV4, Clevenard Teleshopping Television. TV5, Clevenard Tourism Television. To start watching, sign up at www.clevenard.com and follow the easy steps. Once you're done, log into the Clevenard website or app on your device, click on any one of our 5 TV channels, and hit play. We will be very satisfied and happy to welcome you to our team as one of our new business partners. Contact info@clevenard.com +34 631 279811. Website www.clevenard.com.
Welcome back. We're still talking education and women empowerment. Please join us by signing up on www.clevenard.com. Yeah, we're still talking education and women empowerment. Before the break, we're looking at the issues of period poverty. Do you have any other thing to say before we move on?
No, I just wanted to highlight that Sehera spoke about the gala that we'll be having now in September.
Mm-hmm.
And your colleague had asked about what other ways did we identify. And we found that, what the gala itself, the event on the 24th of September, is going to do is to give these young girls an opportunity to be amongst business people,
Right.
be amongst educated people, to be amongst scholars and professors and doctors and so forth. And this will, I think in my head, I'm seeing them going, I didn't think I could sit next to a doctor. I didn't think I could be talking to somebody that is a pilot or somebody that is in that industry. Those are the little things that the spin-offs that are going to come out of the gala dinner that will be hosted on the 24th of September. And just starting to knit a network that these girls can say, hey, I actually want to be a pilot, but I don't know how to do it. I want to be an author, but I don't know how to go about it. We start creating a platform or a network that will assist them, whereas in general, they wouldn't even have the opportunity. So that is one other advantage that we have also identified for the girls, that even on the night, the girls will, there's a designer that has said, an up and coming designer that has said, I would like to dress the girls. We getting shoes. We have sent out a call to say, guys, we need shoes for the girls. They have never walked in heels. They don't have the shoes. For the workshops, something as simple as clothes. We are getting clothes for them because they do not have those. We getting our network to say, ladies, we've got girls from as young as 14 up to the age of 21. Can you donate techies, shoes, clothes, whatever you can, so that there's that inclusion. We try to close the gap, but not making them feel somehow or maybe feel awkward that maybe they're asking too much. We want to give them, and we want them to understand that it's okay to not have and be given. There's nothing wrong with that. And also, that's another type of empowerment, to make somebody realize that, hey, I am allowed to say something if something is not okay.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm sure before the show is over, we're gonna talk about how to get involved and what needs to be done. But I heard that you mentioned business. So what business do you think a woman or a girl can start with little finance?
When you get me started, that's my happy place. Business is my happy place. So
Yeah.
there is so much. And I don't know in other African countries, but I'm going to start here. That there is now so much support for youth in South Africa. Let me start here because this is where I'm from. And there is so much business support from government, from corporates, from individuals. We've got so many unsung heroes that people don't even know of, because they're making a difference in their little communities. So, I mean, with 500 rands, somebody can start a perfume business, buy and sell, buy for less and sell. A lady can start a catering business, literally. Start with as small as you can, selling scones with coffee. There's so many ideas. I don't know where to start, where you can start by taking baby steps. But even as you are taking those baby steps, there is so much information that is given out that we are saying as the youth, because that's where the future lies, right? As
Yeah.
the youth, this is the kind of support that you can enjoy if you want to go bigger and if you want to, start thinking big. But starting small, Simran, you can jump in. There's a lot of ideas.
I think starting small. I think once you start, you identify new things. You figure out this is your strength, this is your weakness. I believe that the younger you are, the more things you should try, expose yourself to. If you fail, you fail. You fail fast, you fail hard. By the time you hit your 30s, you have a guaranteed algorithm for success. So I think there's always a bit of hesitancy with a lot of young people going into business. Should I take that risk? Yes, you should take that risk. The one idea that I've worked on personally is the business in a box idea, where we get smaller businesses to come up. So whether it's your hair. So you take your wigs, we give these girls a catalog, a marketing plan. access to our marketing teams. And what they do is then they take the wigs, they add their markup onto it, they become distributors, they go to their communities, they start their own salons because there is a need for it. And they take those skills. Some companies we would offer them training. Some of these girls they come in, they get trained on the hair, the know-hows of everything, and then they go into their communities as a distributor and they make their own money. They start owning their own hours. They're able to buy their independence, you know, with a business mindset.
Wow, that's amazing. So the possibilities are limitless.
Absolutely. I think with anything, if you identify a need, and I think that's what it comes down to is teaching these girls that, yes, you're being empowered, but empower your communities as well. So
Yeah.
you identify a need. You don't have to wait for someone else to come along and fix it because more often than not, we're aware of period poverty. So many people are aware of it, but oh no, there's a charity that'll come and sort it out. There are people that'll help them. So, it truly goes to show that change begins right here, right now with you. And that's what we're
Abs-
teaching the girls as well.
Yeah, I like the change begins with
Change
you.
begins, yeah, 100%. And if we're all in the same boat and if we're all rowing in the same direction, we're going to get there a lot faster.
Absolutely. Empower women, empower a generation is what
Absolutely.
is often said.
We break those
Uh,
cycles. This is when we do it.
Yeah. Promise, are you here?
What we are actually doing is currently we're not providing direct financial support. What we are doing is because there's a series of workshops before the gala dinner, um, we are providing from our pockets as women that came together to help the youth that started this. We are helping with transport costs to take them from their communities to come to a venue where we have booked for them to get the empowerment that they need, so that by the time we get to the big event for them, they would have benefited something and not just say, I'm going to get pads. No, we want them to say, I have actually moved from this point to this point. I didn't know this when I started, but now this is what I know. And we provide them with food as well, because you cannot learn on an empty stomach.
True.
yeah,
Cannot
exactly.
you cannot
Exactly.
participate when you are not when you are hungry. And we also are giving them information, providing them with the information for whatever it is that they need in terms of what we just spoke about just now, starting of businesses. We provide them with the right institutions that they can approach in order to get the financial and the non-financial support from other
Yeah,
bigger institutions. So, in that sense, I would say to you, the value is even more than monetary. You can't even,
that's true.
yes, you can't even put value to it. It's really, it's information that I wish I had when I was their age.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
that's true. Knowledge is key, and it's knowledge is something you can't really buy with money. Really?
Yeah, so it's like rather than giving them fish, you're teaching them how to fish. That's a very valuable lesson for everyone to learn. So how can we get involved?
So there are multiple ways of actually getting involved. You can buy a table or a seat at 2,000 Rand, 2,500. The funds generated from table sales and ticket sales will go directly towards the purchasing of sanitary ware and the distribution as well. We would like to encourage as many people as possible to become workshop sponsors or facilitators to try and offer their mentorship. Everyone has something to offer. If you feel like you have some knowledge to impart, some thoughts you'd like to share, any guidance, any advice, we would really appreciate that as well. We are also looking for assistance in terms of transporting the girls, any food, clothing donations, shoe donations. That about covers it. Am I correct, Mpho? Anything to add?
Yes. I think you've covered everything. And yeah, no, I don't have anything to add, except for our contact details, Sehera.
Okay,
So
so what should we contact?
you can find us on Instagram at the Legacy Gala SA. Our email address, we do have an email address. It is info@thenishmarket.co.za.
Okay, would you please repeat that?
Info@thenishmarket.co.za.
Info at the niche market.
Yes.
Okay, that's
.co.za.
ZA. Okay, and it's at Legacy ZA on
Legacy Gala SA on
oh,
Instagram
Legacy
and
Gala
Facebook.
SC
Nice.
on Instagram and Facebook. Is there a number to call?
There is a number to call. Could I maybe send that to you and you can put it up?
Okay, that's right. So I hear that the tables are 2,000 and 2,500. What if someone wants to attend and they cannot afford that?
Yeah.
Lola, because this is an NPO. The Legacy Foundation is an NPO. We're a non-profit organization. So and remember, this is the launch. The gala dinner will actually be the launch of the work that we are doing, of the work that the youth are starting to do. So if somebody cannot afford to buy a table is actually selling at 20,000 rand.
Oh,
Seat at the table is 2,500
2,000.
rand.
Right.
Why
right.
I'm saying 2,500 rand? Because at each table, remember, I gave an example that these girls will be amongst business people, will be amongst educated people, and so forth. We want them to be sitting at the different tables to be able to network, and those are the skills that we've already imparted with them, and we're still carrying on with the workshops. So the 2,500, actually a seat is 2,000 rand, but we're saying 2,500 rand so that they can sponsor the girls with the 500 rands that we collected. So we are looking for sponsorships. We are looking for partnerships. And fortunately, the event is on the 24th. The gala on the 24th will be held at the Marriott Hotel at Melrose Arch here in Johannesburg. And, the Marriott Hotel has been so great to a point where they've said they want to get involved in the program and give the girls support in terms of trainings, in terms of, developing it further and further. So you can see that the more people hear about it, the more we talk about it, they actually see the value of it, and how they can get involved is by coming in and even sharing to say, this is how I see the Legacy Gala Foundation reaching Tanzania, reaching Angola, reaching Canada, reaching other countries. The collaboration that we fathom, that we can see, we can envisage that the collaboration that can happen through this foundation to ensure that we fight this challenge that we are all facing. Because remember, it's a global pandemic on its own. So
Yeah.
if we can build those collaborative relationships and make sure that not only the girls in South Africa get to benefit, but throughout the world, we start building those networks. That's the perfect situation to be in. But for now, because we are starting, we would say if you cannot afford to buy a table, but you still want to give, you are more than welcome to donate what you can donate, whether it's clothes, whether it's shoes, whether it's the sanitary ware, whether it's water, and like Simran said, whether you want to sponsor with breakfast for one of the workshops, because we've still got 2 more workshops to go, whether you want to sponsor breakfast or lunch or even coffee, it would be great, because as I said to you, we are still starting off, we are
Right.
still starting up, and we are all individually tapping into our pockets. So unfortunately, we're not in a situation where we can say we will be able to donate, or we wish we could, but yeah.
All right. That makes sense. So if you want to get involved, please go to Legacy Gala SA on Instagram and on Facebook. Do you have any final words for us before we close the show today?
I think we should end off with saying we rise by lifting each other. So at the end of the day, even by simply sharing our cause, a little goes a long way, and you never know who could potentially come across an initiative like this. I'd also just like to add that at the Ghana itself, we would like to acknowledge key individuals that have played a significant role in the upliftment of their communities. So if you know someone, if you're watching this, and if you know someone that has played a significant role in their communities towards the upliftment, whether it's period poverty or just general empowerment, please get in touch with us. We would love to see how we can collaborate.
Beautiful. Any final words, Mpho?
No, I think Sehera has summed it up beautifully. The feeling is mutual, and we just want to say thank you for the opportunity. And please don't end it with us. Give other, worthy causes the kind of airtime that you have given us. And thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us on the show today. Remember to sign up on. Sorry?
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Please remember to sign up on www.clevernerd.com. Remember that happiness is the best to make up. This was Big Talk, and we were talking about education and women empowerment. We'll see you next time. Have a good evening.
In the 21st century's technological advancement, we all seek opportunities to move and network with the emerging space. Introducing Clevenard blog and event posting. Do you think you have some interesting materials, good content, articles, and stories? Then feel free to publish them on Clevenard blog and events page, just as team of our writers are doing presently. By blogging on Clevenard's blogs and events, you benefit from our reach and network. There are a constant stream of people visiting our social platform, and we have figured out just how to distribute our contents. This means you can basically skip the line and get access to a big audience from day one. Furthermore, we can help you get in touch with important people for projects with possibilities of translating your content into other languages and republishing them on Clevenard. This helps preserve and protect your content from getting lost. What's more, you also get to be part of our team with access to our network and lots of exclusives, behind the scenes information. And of course, you get full credit for everything you do, which brings you popularity and make extra income. Sign up now on clevenard.com and start blogging to your advantage. Please see the tutorial video on how to blog or post events on Clevenard Blogs and Events. For more information, contact info@clevenard.com +34 631 279811. Website www.clevenard.com. Clevenard, your blogs, your identity. In the 21st century's technological advancement, we all seek opportunities to move.